In the years of the dictatorship in Albania, a rather hypocritical slogan prevailed. What the party wants the people do, and every people does the party. In practice this was half true in that the people followed the instructions and orders of the party verbatim, while the party gave the people the law of the stick and lead. The first line was the class war and the so-called dictatorship of the proletariat. The class war was an undeclared civil war, seemingly silent but acting as an open genocide for the political opponents of the regime. It was an unparalleled genocide of the kind that has not been noticed in other Balkan countries. For funny things, just ordinary grievances. In many cases, the punishment included the entire tribe, which was interned and went to forced labor, like in Stalin's prisons. All this was done to sow state terror in the mass, and things that should not be the thought went to protests or revolts against the regime. These were absolutely forbidden. The people were forbidden except for free speech, private property and free voting and free movement. Nobody could leave the country. This was strictly forbidden. A sick and paranoid psychosis was created that we were living under siege. It was a siege imaginary, psychiatric hallucinations. Human rights were exchanged for cynicism. Trials when they were seen as reasonable to do were closed. The defense lawyer did not exist and was forbidden by law. The person was victimized and there was no one to protect him. Out of fear and people, his relatives distanced themselves. They took the side of evil and gave the right to the party. Albanians freed from fascism and Nazism were now living physically and mentally enslaved by a paranoid dictator who had raised the personal cult in a difficult way. Are you saying that idealistic partisan youth had fought for this ideal against freedom? This was an invasion that it lasted for almost 50 years, not a little. In these years, Enver Hoxha experimented, not with his people, but with a sword, without mercy. One of these failed and disgusting experiments was the creation of the new man who was being born inside the socialist cage. They were pleased with this big prison where people were forced to call it the best prison in the world. Even a lantern shines who built socialism with his own forces. No. Socialism in Albania was first built with the help of Tito, then Stalin, Khrushchev for a short period when the latter brought wheat for bread in such a quantity that mice from his country ate it. This was expressed, and later with the help of Chairman Mao Zedong. After the breakdown with the latter, Albania went towards economic and political prosperity. Enver Hoxha. This leader. After high school, he committed genocide with the most active and intelligent part of the people. He moved the genocide within his party, eliminating a large vital part of his war comrades and political bureau colleagues. Then he decorated them as heroes. The people and heroes of socialism. He suddenly discovered that they were enemies and shot them without trial but with his order. All the works that were built in his time were the sweat and blood of the youth who loved their country, Albania, but also from the economic aid of the aforementioned countries. The arbitrary isolation of a people, its massacre over the years by the class war that Enver Hoxha, this undeclared king, the removal of religious institutions and faith. These were the most characteristic features of his Grandomaniac politics. Free medicine and schools for free, the reduction of illiteracy were some merits of his dictatorial regime.